I have been struggling from a severe lack of confidence in my trading recently, and I am fully aware that if I don't get it under control, I am just going to continue to prevent myself from being great. I go through these stages, right, of feeling like I am doing all right and I think I might just finally get this thing under control, and then I all of a sudden lose confidence, you know? It's after a couple of losses in a row, I don't change the strategy, it's just the confidence lessens. And that is messing with my mental. So what do you do? How do you build confidence? Well, you back test and you have to build trust in the system. I do that. I back test. I'm profitable in back testing. So it's not an issue with the strategy, it's an issue up here and I am aware of that. I know that that's nothing, different. It's nothing that I have to change in the strategy. It's me believing in the strategy and believing that, hey, maybe I do kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. Maybe I do have an idea of where this entry makes sense. Maybe I do have an idea of this is the move that I could possibly get, like all of these things working together to build that confidence in the system and just trusting that the numbers work out. I've tested that the numbers work out, and I just have to be okay with losses when they come and go again and go again. Day in and day out, just whatever happens, you get up and you go again. I got that down. I'm going to show up here every day. Well, when I trade in and out again and again and again, win or loss, I'm coming back. Like I know the possibilities of trading. I know my potential if I can, dial in this last little bit that has just been mm, 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 struggling with me. I know I just have to keep going to break through this wall. And yeah, I mean, there's no giving up. It's just showing up again and again. Can you get knocked down again and again and again for the 100th time and just get back up and go again? Figure out what needs to be tweaked. Adjust little things. Work, does this make things better or worse? Okay, go again, go again, go again. I was backtesting a bit more just now, and something that I was figuring out with, which I made a note of, is for my stop losses on these trades that I want to take, instead of putting the stop loss at just the like engulfing candle high, I need to put it at the 5-minute body of the fair value gap so that it has space to come back and knock out that wick, which would have been my entry, which would have been where I would have gotten stopped out, and then continue on for the move. So that's one thing I'm noticing. Now the problem is, again, it goes back to these large bars at this moment, and also what is leading into my lack of confidence. I might not have the risk tolerance to be able to put my stop all the way up there, which then you might be saying like, well, if you can't put your risk in the right spot, you shouldn't be taking the trade. And, I kind of tend to agree. Um, but I mean, there's a no but. I tend to agree, but the trade setup is there, and maybe instead of, not taking the trade, I could go for a lower RR, knowing that that might not be the full move, and the full move might want to come up one more time and then continue lower. That's an option. I could just look for a quicker RR, knowing that I'm going to get some sort of reaction. Well, not knowing, you never really know, but anticipating some sort of reaction off of that entry point. That's an option that I could look at. That's the other thing too. Like I am always analyzing and figuring out what may or may not make the strategy better, right? I'm not switching to something completely different. I'm sticking with the overall break and retest into the fair value gaps, break and retest into the key levels, pre-market high, previous day high, high low, whatever, weekly high low. It's just fine tuning it, right? I think I've become pretty good at that as well, and not just saying like, oh, forget it, I'm just going to throw this whole thing out. It doesn't work. No, it works. I just need to get out of my own way and let it work, pretty much. The lack of confidence is really sucking for me even more so, because it's not like I lack confidence and then the move doesn't happen and then I'm like, oh, look, you see, that's exactly why I don't trust myself to take the trade. No, I lack the confidence, I don't enter the trade, and then again and again, the trade plays out. Like literally all of my profit target points to the downside on Friday, all of them got hit by the end of the day. It was continuously trending down, and I just could not get myself to enter the trade. I was just like frozen in fear. It doesn't make sense either, because it's not like I'm, yes, I lost a lot of money in the beginning of my trading fiasco, but since I've been like on point, I've been I did a little bit of a trend up, a little bit of a trend down, and now I've definitely been break even. Like the last 3 months, I think I'm up $10 this quarter, which again, it's not like I'm like plummeting off a cliff. So I have the losses under control. I guess I'm just like afraid that it would like I'll go back in a super drawdown, like that I'll just keep losing and losing and losing. But literally, I have a year plus of data saying that that's not happening, right? I'm break even. So I just need to get over that last little freaking mound that's just taken me forever to take out. I also just like the thing that's like, I mean, keeping me going is just again knowing the potential that trading has. But like another thing that's really keeping me going is that I consistently envision my chart, like my overall um like P&L chart, my graph. I just see it like break even, break even, break even, and then I just see it like taking off. That moment is what is just keeping me like, no, keep going. Like you got this. And that's all I could do. I could just keep working, keep showing up. There's always going to be like flows with the market and feeling good and not feeling good. I feel like it's just your ability to continue to show up through those moments, continue to be disciplined, continue to manage your risk, and kind of be able to adapt. I'm still lacking on the adapt part, I'm aware that I need to adapt. I'm just lacking on the switch of being able to adapt, if that makes any sense. So we got 2 days left in March. I'm going to finish those out. I also feel like I'm always more hesitant towards the end of the month and the end of the quarter because, for instance, right now, I'm only up $10 on the quarter. I am trying so hard, or I don't want to turn that negative. But at the end of the day, like, really, what is a $10 difference? I do want it to be green, but as long as I manage my risk, I have to keep in mind that it's not going to be a catastrophic, negative quarter, even if it is negative, right? So that I feel also prevents me from taking trades. I just want to be like, I feel like I want to take the perfect trade, but then I also try to remind myself that even when I wait for what I think is the perfect trade, I could still get stopped out. So why am I putting so much pressure on a single trade? It's not needed. And I know all of these things. It's just about getting myself to execute when I know them, kind of thing. So what I'm going to do in April is I'm going to lessen my risk, my TPs even more, and try to go for just like that two, 1 to 2 RR over and over and over again, and see if I can get some consistency with that. I typically go for like a 1 to 2.5 to 3. That's kind of like what I aim for. But I'm going to dial that back in April and see if I can knock that out, because I cannot increase my contract size if I cannot become consistently green. And I feel like the only way to get consistently green is to have that first TP a little bit less. So maybe, a 1 to 2 is still not bad. I need to knock out the amount of money and think about it more so as just the RR and take that again and again and again. I think that will be a quicker road to increasing contracts. Anyway, I got my work cut out for me like usual. I'm going to continue to work on this lack of confidence and hopefully get over this pretty soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Later.